Welcome back to the RSBuddies Podcast. We've been friends for 15 years because of RuneScape, and we like to yap about it. My name is Max, or MDGScape, and my co-host is Zekzer, or Dalton.
On today's episode, we're going to be covering all of the League 6 leaks and everything that has to do with that. Alongside that, I want to thank you guys all for the amount of support we've gotten on the last episode.
Yeah, super crazy.
If you've been enjoying this stuff, just leave a like, comment, subscribe. It really helps out with us in the algorithm. We're trying to hit right around 1K subs by the end of the year. I know it's a lofty goal, but I think we can hit it.
Yeah, I think we can do it. We got a lot of people, just left nice stuff about we mentioned our buddy passing in the last episode, and it really I don't know, it helps to talk about it, which is sounds a little weird, but it's true. And just, seeing everyone send their best wishes and I don't know, it made me feel really good. So I really appreciate everyone doing that. And
it was really nice. It was really, really heartwarming seeing all the nice comments and everything. Really cool.
Yeah, before we get into our main topic, which is leagues, as we mentioned, we're going to talk about our week in review. We kind of like to look at our last week in RuneScape, and if anything cool happened, we like to talk about it. And mine actually has to do with our buddy that passed away, so I thought I'd share that. It was pretty cool. So if you don't,
this is crazy, by the way.
Yeah, this happened today actually. So we mentioned our buddy Logbert, we call him, that passed away last week, and his big he's one of our group Iron members, and his big contribution to the group, this was one of his proudest achievements in RuneScape, is that he got our imbued heart, and he got it off of his third superior. It was a gargoyle, and just totally unexpected. And I've been hunting an imbued heart for 10 years now. I have 80 million Slayer XP between my 3 accounts. Still haven't gotten one. I'm well over 1,000 superiors at this point. And I had been holding the imbued heart for a few years because Log hadn't been playing so frequently. We were playing other games and stuff with him. But he'd come and go to RuneScape. And crazy enough, a week before he passed away, he asked for the imbued heart back. And of course I gave it to him. It's his heart. He pulled it. And then when he passed away, he took it with him. And we were all fine with that. It was kind of yeah, that was his heart. He took it with him. And I don't know. It's just how would you describe that? We kind of just all accepted it as
when this happened, it was we had a way to access an account maybe.
Yeah.
And we were dude, just leave it as a relic. We don't want to touch it. Anything, it's just pixels in a video game. It's way more than that. Just leave it as it is. And it was just, we just wanted to leave it be.
Yeah, we always see him in our group members list, and also we were also thinking how funny it would be eventually for a little inactive that he would eventually get promoted to be the group leader.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious.
And it's just a way that we're gonna remember him. And also, we didn't want to try to get into the account, even though we probably could if we wanted to, just because his childhood best friend is also in our group, and he probably knows all his passwords and everything. But we thought we'd just leave it as is, and that we were okay with not having the heart. But this week, literally maybe a week and a half after he passed, I was doing some Slayer trying to get a heart again, and I got it. And it just felt
it's crazy.
I swear I had this feeling oh my God, Log is looking down at us and is let me put this shit back in the group storage for you guys. And
you want to hear something?
Yeah.
So go ahead, finish.
Well, I was just going to say, I had that thought, and I was holy shit. I told my fiance about it, and she had the same thought as I did. And then I texted you, Dalton, and you texted me back the same thing. It was just
well, dude, it was crazy because I had the same thought while I was doing Slayer this week. For some reason, Kuradel kept giving me Smoke Devil Araxite. I was dude, it's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna pull a heart. It's gonna happen.
It's just so crazy.
Cool thing, though, man.
Yeah, it's cool. So it felt I don't know if I I don't know what I believe in, but that felt. I'm not very superstitious or anything like that, and that I got chills when that happened. So
we all felt the same thing.
Yeah, it was really cool. It's really cool.
That was cool. And then we have a heart back.
Yeah, we have a heart back. And
it's crazy too because you've what'd you say 80 mil Slayer XP.
Yeah.
I have I'm at 50 mil total. We have pulled no imbued hearts. We pulled all eternal gems, and just to snag that one at this moment, it's crazy.
It felt it felt like some kind of weird intervention, but Yeah, it was just that I've been like just stoked about that all day. So
It's
I
cool,
don't think
man.
anything else major has happened this week.
Well, something major happened.
Oh yeah.
Moo.
Moo. I forgot. Yeah, I
The
guess that
cow
happened.
boss came out. How do we feel about the cow boss after
Did it
grinding
come
it for
out
one
after our
day and then
last
never touching
episode?
it again? Yeah, it came out after our last episode.
Okay. I love it.
You just,
Absolutely love it.
yeah, I love it too.
It's something about it.
The,
I know it's like a new thing, but something about it just like hit me with the RuneScape nostalgia. It feels like I don't know. I just got like the feeling of like being back and being a noob and killing cows and lumberage. Like I don't. Did you feel
yeah,
that at all?
what I felt more was like there's something every RuneScape player loves. Like we hear all the time from like higher level community players and like higher level skillers and higher level PVMers that like we want this content, we want that content. But the reality of the RuneScape player is they want AFK stuff to do. And this was just like a full bore like 250 kills per hour if you're like trying to like do it fast, or like 120 kills per hour AFK boss pet that you could get. That was like it brought me back to the days of like killing like Cow Fight Queen or
Oh, really?
KBD.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was like one of those bosses where like I forget which mod mentioned it, but he was like talking about how like there is bosses should be in the game that you just hit it and it hits you back.
Yeah.
Like, and those bosses like are really nice because you could turn your brain off and just like sit there. And the boss was like so nice for that reason, and had this weird dynamic where you could like sweat the boss out. So like, here's me, I'm in like a crystal halberd, like with death charge, a light bear, full Darox at 10 HP, and I'm like challying it, and if I miss the chally, I switch to a Nox Halley and hit it. And if I don't have spec, I'm in full DH trying to one hit it. And it was like this cool thing. It was like, okay, you could either sweat this boss out, and it's still like no effort, right?
Right.
Theoretically, you're just trying to one hit it all the time. But it was like you could sweat it out, or you could just like veg AFK and eat every once in a while. And that it's like a perfect RuneScape boss.
Yeah, you know what? Like I was having that whole like nostalgic vibe, and I spoiler alert, I went 1700 dry for the pet, but I was trying to channel all my bad RNG into it, so I kept saying like I was hoping to go 3000 dry. But I was just enjoying it. And also, you know what I realized is really cool? The bell that you use I think it cut the respawn timer from 19 ticks to 7.2 ticks, or maybe it was seconds, 19 seconds to
Seconds. Yeah, cut it
7.2
in a
seconds.
third. Like you got it's a third of the time.
Yeah, and I've thought about this a lot with bosses like, we have, so since bosses like God Wars have been out for so long, or things like the DKs, and we've gotten such better gear since then, you're just sitting there waiting so long between these bosses, and that's good for like maybe lower level players or irons where they need that respawn time to like recover, like in the case of DKs where you need that time to kill the next one so it stays in a good cycle. But I was just thinking like there's so much dead time, and it would be nice to have like a way to control the respawn times to a certain extent. And they kind of did that with this bell. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
like that.
I've heard recommendations for like God Wars where it's like just right click the altar and like there be like a start option,
Yeah.
and like or let it spawn like after you kill the last minion in 10 seconds, stuff like that. In they could do so much stuff. Like I don't know, did you have DKs during the Echo League? During the
No,
last league, did you have
I've
DKs?
never done DKs in a league, unfortunately. I've always wanted to.
Okay, so the Echo DKs were really interesting. So like I think they could do stuff like make like let the standard version of the boss exist, and then just let there be a quote unquote harder mode version. Like those DKs, it was really cool. They've had all three overhead prayers over their head,
Hmm.
right? And one of them didn't. And when you did enough damage to one of them, it would like swap the overhead prayers.
Hmm.
So like one then didn't, and then like it kept swapping around so that you would have to kill all three of them at the same time.
Right.
And something really cool about that, well, there was also other mechanics to it, but it made me do like range mage melee. Like they were automatically off ticked, and they were like, I'm just imagining a world where we could have like something like the Dagonoth Kings, where they're off tick all the time, like they're constantly off tick, and you can like flick them. You could like flick them, and you could like do the boss as like an actual boss, because the groundwork is there already. Like you don't need all, like during the league you had to like flick, 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 step attack, flick, 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 step attack. Like you don't need to do all that jazz if you don't want it to be too crazy. But you could definitely like, DKs is almost like a perfect boss to introduce that rhythm to, because it's like an earlier boss that you can do, but it will slam you if you don't know what's going on.
Right.
And if you introduce that rhythm to the boss, where it's like we're flicking the overheads, we're doing damage to all the bosses, and you could even make it so that, like, I know this sounds like sacrilegious for DKs, but you could make it so that like that the you only need to use one style, like while you're doing this flicking or something, or like the styles are fine, but it does reduce damage, something along those lines. Because those are things that like could help players also, like learn how to do the prayer flicks of different bosses, and it teaches that it's not projectile based, that these bosses are off the like when they attack based.
Right.
So you're like predicting the attacks. This is something that like I really like, and then that could be like involved with that starting the boss early mechanic too.
Yeah, I like the idea. Like, so with the starting early thing, like I don't think that would be good to add at this point to God Wars, because people have put so much time and effort, and same with DKs. But I do like the idea of having like maybe a harder version of DKs where you're always fighting them at the same time, but they're always off tick. Like not making the mechanics too different, but just making it so there's like less downtime and you have to engage with some of these like harder techniques, like. Yeah, like you said, off-ticking all of them where they start off-tick anyway. But I think it should keep the core mechanics as much as possible.
Right. That's exactly what they could do with some of these bosses. Like,
yeah, I'm trying to think of another example where it would work.
Well, like a good example is, so I swear they did this with the Echo bosses, and they kind of just like threw it away for some reason. Like the Echo KQ had a mechanic where like you had to step under it.
Oh, really?
Like, so like when you do KQ in the main game, I didn't even do KQ, but I just know this because I watched some of the boss fights. When you do KQ in the main game, anyone who's like farmed a lot of KQ, you know the only real way to reduce damage on that boss is to like step under in between your attacks, so that she's attacking on the same tick that you're attacking. Like you're going 1-to-1 with her. So and that
only works with slower weapons, because like I think she's on a 4-tick cycle, so
exactly. Or if you have to step under to eat or something, so you don't lose ticks while eating, stuff like that. In the Echo KQ, like they made it. They were like, we're going to keep the core fundamental of the boss, but you're going to be like the step under is now going to be a part of the fight. That like, it's a necessity to do, so that you don't take this massive amount of damage. And that kind of stuff added into the real main game as like a hard mode. You don't even have to change drop rates at all. You could like make the kill times the same, drop rates exactly the same, and just make it so that these bosses can either be engaging or not engaging. And it would be totally fine.
Yeah, I like that idea. I think there's something there. I think especially with those like really old bosses like DKs and KQ, especially KQ's so old. There's something there for sure. I would of course want to keep like a vanilla based version that's like
right.
The main
We're not gonna.
thing,
We don't want to remove anything.
Yeah, I like that idea of making it some kind of optional harder version that makes it more active. I like that idea. KQ's already like some KQ does not feel great because of all the unavoidable damage, and the long trip back there. So it'd be cool to have something that you could maybe like engage with more and maybe avoid more of that damage if you like do it well. That could be the benefit, honestly.
Yeah, and you know what the other thing is? What last gripe about KQ, because we're kind of on the topic of KQ for a second. I cannot believe that it did not pass when they pulled making it the hard diary to go through that stupid cavern.
Did it really not pass?
Like, yeah, so like they pulled it. They're like, do you want us to change this? Because it makes zero sense to make people run around this. You have a 3-minute downtime in between. It's not like you're going to KQ and you're killing it even 5 times. Like you're killing it once and you're leaving.
Like 2 kills.
Yeah, 1 or 2. Like it's if you get RNG'd out, you're just like eating all your food, just getting destroyed. So it would be really nice to give people just like let them get back to the boss faster. Like who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Another thing, let the ropes be permanent. Like, what do we do?
I think they are at a certain point too, right? Yeah, with the Elite Diary.
Maybe they are. Maybe with the Elite Diary.
Here's the thing.
But like, It's crazy to me though.
Yeah.
These like little things these things don't ruin the fundamentals of the game. These small things.
Yeah, that's something that it is just like a little QOL, and I'm surprised it didn't pass. And I'll tell you what, I am like a notorious like pull the ladder up, slam the door behind me kind of guy. Like the second I got max cape, I'm like, don't make it easier, don't make it easier. Agility should be hard. But that being said, I agree with you that the shortcut would make more sense at like it's already a high agility requirement, right? Like I don't think giving it to hard diaries would be bad at all. Like that boss does not have a lot of loot. You're not making any money there. You're probably losing money a lot of the time. Might as well like make it a little bit more palatable by making it more accessible.
You know what else too? This might be a hot take about agility shortcuts. Getting 88 agility or whatever it is to go through a shortcut, honestly, it's enough of a requirement.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a big
like, does there even need to be a diary tied to it?
Yeah,
like
dude, I can already hear the comments. They already made it so you get a guaranteed head at 256. Like back in my day, we had to grind that shit out. I grinded that shit out too on my main. I know how it was.
We all grinded it. We grinded on these accounts.
Yeah, you should still have to grind the head to get the elite diary done, but like getting to that boss 256 times to get the head to finish that diary is like brutal without the shortcut.
Do you know what else too? It's not like the desert diaries. Elite diaries don't have an insane of reward in just the Narda teleport.
Yeah, that's probably the thing I use the most.
Dude, that is so useful for when you're doing bosses like that you can just run back to. Like if you want to do like Smoke Devil, Clawing Smoke Devil, if you want to do like any bosses, Corp, like anything that requires you just teleport.
2-minute Corp kills. We're gonna have to use our Corp kills as like some podcast footage one of these days if it's not in this one.
Yeah, dude. You guys don't even know about the Juicer Corp kills.
Oh, it's so
We need a horn first. I mean, I know it doesn't matter. And honestly, I don't think it would save that much time, but it'll definitely save enough time where I'd be happy to have one.
It's just one of those things that feels good to have, like the max stuff, like a big upgrade like that.
Yeah, we need max. We need to get to next. This is ridiculous.
Anyway, I think that's a good good little tangent we went on. I'm glad we
I'm glad we aired our grievances after we talked about leagues, about KQ.
Right.
I'm glad agility. I'm glad that's where it went.
But speaking of leagues,
well, one second.
Oh, you got
my week was nothing happened.
Oh,
I got baited by Mr. Mammal, and I watched his video, and I was like, dude, 340s TOAs have to be bugged. They have to be bugged, and it baited me even more. It baited me even more.
No, it didn't.
It did because I ran 2 340s and I got back-to-back purples.
That's not bait. That's amazing.
Dude, I got back-to-back purples. So that now here's me. Mind you, I can run 450s just fine. Like without a shadow. It's like good to go. I'm like spam running 340s and I get like no purples and like 20 raids in a row. I'm like, all right, you know what? This is not bugged. Which I was just lucky.
You got the 2 though. I mean, that's better than I can say. I'm at like 600 Toas with 14 purples over here.
Yeah, I really enjoyed getting my 11th Fang and my 9th Light Bear. That was pretty good.
They're worth money now, dude. At least they're worth a little bit of money.
Yeah, at least they're worth money. But yeah, speaking of Raging Echoes before, League 6 was announced. April 15th is coming out.
Coming up soon, man. I'm like, I gotta just like tell myself I'm not gonna do as much content for the next month. Focus on making videos and get ready for it. Cause we just like, we're in what? Okay, so Sailing came out. We grinded the shit out of that. Then we had Clan Bingo. Then we had Deadman mode. So I'm just like, I've been playing and before Sailing came out, I maxed in the last month in an absurd rate. So I'm just like the last 6 months or whatever, feels like 6 months, more like 4 or 5, have just been grinding my ass off on this game. And I need like a break to just focus on making content, I think.
Do you know what that tells me? What you're talking about? That me and you both have the best wives.
Yeah, for real. Like
they're real, like, dude. I do not understand how they're not absolutely livid with the amount of gameplay that has been going on right now.
It's actually crazy.
Like, dude, this honestly kudos to Jagex because the amount of content that has come into this game over the last like year and a half / 2 years is insane to me.
Yeah, and they're not just shoveling
It's
slop
so
down our throats. Like this has been it's kind of been banger after banger after banger, I feel like.
yeah, like dude, like sailing into like probably arguably the best DMM they've ever done. If you asked like the greater player base, you know, there were some gripes with the finale that like sucked, but
Yeah.
we already went into that in the last cast.
Rewind to Doom
like,
too, and Yama just
yeah,
before that.
Doom,
like,
Yama,
oh,
dude,
such a good 2025 was such a good year for this game.
it was insane. It was probably one of, if not the best year for this game so far, like ever so far.
Golden Age,
man. It's really something. I mean, they are really doing a good job, like just pumping out. Like you see players from other games, and like they don't even understand how much OSRS has. They don't even get it. And it's all Jagex, man.
It's crazy. Just like battling through so many like eras of this game. I'm sure there was times where like it made sense to maybe move on to different projects and shut it down, but like they've persevered and brought it to such a cool place. And I'm just thinking about like Amazon New World shutting down this past year, like
Ash of Creation scam happening.
Oh, is that I haven't followed the new? Is that the new WoW?
Yeah.
Expansion?
Well, Ash of Creation was a game that was in production for like, I mean, 8 to 10 years. And recently, this is so funny. I'll quickly touch on this. The guy, Steven was his name, who like, it was a GoFundMe game, but this one had like a lot of backing. There was like betas and stuff like that. Like it was like a real thing that people believed in. And
was this the pirate software thing?
No. This is Steven Sharif. This is his name. He this is like really funny to say. He was like he pretty much rug pulled the game.
No.
If you like in a nice way. It's like, you know, all these GoFundMe games end up like just kind of dying off.
Gotta be like a 30% success rate.
Right. And people paid like $500 and stuff like this for like early access to this game. And they put the game on Steam for the open alpha or beta or something. And then after they did that, they shut down the game, like production for the game. And Steven Sharif, this is what he said. He's like, I got outvoted on the board member. The only board members are him and his husband. That's it. There's only 2 board members. It's him and his husband. And they're like, oh, we got outvoted. Yeah. Clearly. I got outvoted in the by the board. I had nothing I could do. It's like, dude. So then what people speculated.
So funny.
What people speculated was he had to fulfill like that the game was released. So that's why it went on Steam for like a month. And pretty much what ended up happening is I think he's in massive legal trouble right now about this game. But I mean, listen, at least we're not dealing with that. Like, come on.
Yeah. All those like indie devs, like I can't imagine being beholden to anyone because it's just, it's got to be a shit show.
Dude, it definitely is a shit show, and you can't like trust you can't trust any of these like GoFundMe like games. It's just the reality of the world we live in. People will try to take your money if they have, and you know what? And the MMO space was like so dead. This was supposed to be like the WoW killer and everything. Honestly, old school RuneScape's the WoW killer. It really is. That's what it is, and it's because the devs are so good, and it's because they do what they think is best, and they care about the community. And they're not afraid to tell the community no when they think it's really bad.
But they
definitely
say no. They're a little afraid to say no.
They're a little afraid. They're a little bit of fear. But most of the time, they are like the best devs in any MMO that you could find in the modern age.
Yeah, I think we spend a lot of time, like everyone spends a lot of time like calling out their failures, but like overall, we're just like. There's no other game, no other franchise like it, really.
It's easy to call out failures when there's not that many of them because it's so easy to pinpoint them. Like that is the reality of it. And I mean that was a pretty good tangent there.
Yeah, okay, let's lock back in to
let's lock back in.
Leagues. We got some trailers. We got 2 cinematic trailer kind of. We got a cinematic trailer and then we got some kind of like teaser thing.
Yeah, what I wanted to speculate on is there's a couple things here. So first off, Jagex said clearly that first of all, let's start here. We'll start here. We're not starting in Misthalin. That is 100%. And they released a little thing that people deciphered like in 2 seconds because the RuneScape community is absolutely insane. And they figured out that it said Varlamore.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay. I was staring at the QR code, drooling. I wasn't doing anything to help.
Me too. Dude, I'm looking at it. I'm like,
okay, surely they're gonna go back to the main feed. I'll just let other people solve this, and the QR code won't be on screen for too long. And then like 2 hours later, the QR code's just still up there, and I'm sitting there like, okay, I guess the stream's over.
Yeah, it definitely whatchamacallit. It's going to start in Varlamore. We are pretty sure. We are pretty sure it's starting in Varlamore.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you, how do you think a Varlamore start will feel compared to Misthalin? Like, when it comes to like the early game and stuff like that, because the early game's so mapped out in Lumbridge with leagues.
See, that's the
Varlamore's
thing.
never been done.
I feel like everything started in Misthalin lately. I'm throwing back to when they started the first leagues in Corend, and
yeah,
it was at first it was like, oh, what do we do? Like, this is such a big space, and no one had really like explored the nuances of Corend before. It was like back then they hadn't filled it all in as much. They kind of compacted it at a certain point. But no one had really explored it. There weren't as many of those like chunk accounts or anything like that. So it felt like there was no like set path or right answers. It was just like getting like super like intimately familiar with every tile in Corrin, and that was really cool. I liked that there wasn't like a, like everyone's doing the same quests and the same activities and things. Like, I hope it's that feel, and I think they've nailed, especially with this Varlamore expansion in the last year, they've nailed the vibe of Varlamore, and it's all there's a lot to every part of it. It's all filled in. There's little items everywhere. There's, food sources and resources everywhere. There's like people to interact with. There's quests. There's awesome stuff. So I think that starting there is going to feel like it did in Corend, and I really like that.
Yeah, I do want to harken back to that Corend start because that was really smart by Jagex, and I think they knew that what they were doing at the time.
Yeah.
Where they were like, nobody really understands this region. Let's force them to understand the region.
Right.
Like, let's make them figure out the nuances of the region, not just like, oh, I can go here and do Perilous Moons. It's like, okay, everyone knows we can do Perilous Moons. Like, everybody knows we can do Huey, but like Huey is going to be a really good option. Like, for a lot of things, everyone's going to have access to all these, like, all the thieving methods and all of the Colosseum. Like, you're gonna have access to Doom. Like, all of these things you're gonna have access to.
Yeah, and doing things in a way you've never interacted them with before. Like, there could be, you could be like, oh, I can only like with my gear get to the wave 3 of Colosseum. What drops up to wave 3, and what am I hoping for? And how can I look at this raid only 3 waves? You know what I mean? Same with Doom. Like, you're not,
what you're right. Like, dude, am I gonna be is an Eye of Iac gonna be like a viable early game option because of Doom? Like, am I gonna go get a Dragon Hunter wand because it's like, or like, am I gonna get full Huey armor?
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's one of those things that like it's gonna be very accessible. The other thing is, this is it's a Demonic Pacts league. What exists in Misthalin, my friend? Can you answer that question when it comes to demons?
Ooh, the first thing I'm thinking of is the demon in the wizard tower and in Varrock.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, that's thinking too small. Thinking too small.
Think about Grandmaster Quest.
Isn't that Tears of Guthix, right?
Tormented demons exist only in Misthalin, and we have a demonic league. Are we not getting any demonic weapons? Are we not getting any Demon Bane? We're not getting a Scobo. We're not getting an Emberlight. We're not getting a Purging Set.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
In a Demon League.
Yeah, but do you think it's just going to start in...
So this is what I wanted to speculate on, too.
Yeah, I can't imagine they don't expand to different areas, right?
Well, what I think is... Okay, so in the teaser video, there's like it's like weird. It says... Okay, so the guy, it says, find me. Like, find... He has all the Misthalin people like tied up in a circle, and he's like, it says like, find me. Like, why would they put find me? Like, we know where you are. Like, if we can't access Misthalin, like, what do you mean find? You know what I mean? Like, what do you
Yeah.
mean by what?
So here's what I'm thinking. What I'm hoping is that you get these packs and you have to complete these packs, and completing the packs unlocks things. And it's like, maybe like more smaller things than like unlocking a whole area like you have in the past and having to choose between a few areas. Maybe there's like chunks almost that it unlocks, or it unlocks different like quest lines or areas. I don't know. Like I think having like you go and get a task and what I think would be really cool? Maybe it's not you have access to all the packs right away and you do the ones that you like you know how to do. You would like roll a pact, and you have to finish this pact, you have to use what you have in this area, and it's not necessarily the same path for everyone. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be really cool. What I'm thinking is, I think there's a really cool like opportunity here to be like, hey, you don't have access to Misthalin. They said they were very cryptic with their wording when they were talking about it. So they were talking about how like, yes, you don't have access to Misthalin. What if they're not considering it like Misthalin anymore? What if they're like, no, this is like Yama's demonic version of Misthalin. So like in RS3, there's like a corrupted Varrock that you can go to.
Huh.
And it's like a destroyed Varrock, like a demon came in. Like it was when the
Whoa.
Delrith destroyed Varrock, and it was like that timeline versus like the other timeline.
Cool.
What if like this Misthalin, the easiest area in the game, the beginner area of the game, like they did with the cow boss, the easiest boss in the game and one of the hardest bosses in the game at the same time? What if they made this whole area like giga uber end game dangerous?
Yeah, that would be
And
cool.
there's just
We
like,
saw the video of Lumbridge on fire and like all crazy. Do you see that in the back of the one of the teaser videos?
yeah. And what if they made it so that like it was like just like extraordinarily difficult to navigate through Lumbridge and like navigate through these areas, but it also offers like insane reward.
Yeah.
Like it's like a hard mode region,
You work your way up to Lumbridge is the final area maybe, and that's like
right?
the yeah, that's
Like
a
the
cool
last
idea.
unlock that you get is like you unlock your final region or something, and then Lumbridge unlocks with this region
I think
or
that's a really
something
good
along
theory,
those lines.
honestly.
Or like, and the other part of it is this. So people have been speculating for a very long time, and I think Gridmaster proved to Jagex that people are okay with having. So people are okay with having a full league of like everything. Like you have access to everything.
Right.
I think that proved it to them, and I think what might be on the docket is so Yama. Okay, Yama throws the dart at the board
Hmm.
like you would if like you were doing like if you were like a hippie person going on vacation. Like you throw a
Yeah.
dart at the map, and that is where you decide to go. Yama does that in that video, and I think that means something. I think it means like we might be either getting like a hard mode version of that region, or even yet better yet, like that hard mode region rotates and everybody has access to it for like a
That
week
sounds
or
cool. I like
something.
the idea of rotating. Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Like a different region becomes demonic every week. And dude, what if they take breaches, like the idea of breaches, and like these mobs are just spawning, like bosses are just spawning out of nowhere? They could really do so
There's
much stuff
so
with that
much.
concept.
Yeah, I'll say I like either having like a very truncated thing like we did with the Koran leagues where you're like intimately exploring this one area that's like self-contained, or being able to access everything. Like I hate the having to pick three, and like, you don't get to do some of this content that other people are doing. I don't, not that I hate it, but I do feel like a little bit of FOMO, or that I need to make a second uh account to run through it with at some point. So
Right. Like me and you always pretty much choose two of the same regions almost every
yeah,
time.
we do
So
two, and
that we
then the
can
third wild card usually.
right, like for ever since Varlamore's been around, which I think is only one league actually. I chose Varlamore because I think it's like one of the, as we said, like one of the most complete regions
Yeah,
in
and it's such
the
a sleeper pick. I
game.
feel like it's the least chosen thing. At least it has
It
been in
is
the last two.
it's the old Ardoon. So like Ardoon, or what is Ardoon's region?
This
Kandarin.
is this a bad time to bring up that I'm not like when you say Mistlin, I'm only vaguely sure what you mean. The same with all the what are the other ones? I feel like I'm that kid.
Kandarin is like
Yeah.
gnome to like a watchtower area.
Yeah. I
Like
feel like I'm that kid that gets to high school and like isn't super good with their lefts and rights, and I feel like it's too late to bring it up at this point, especially because I make content about this game. But I like yeah, Mistlin, Kandarin, all those different ones. I feel like I have a hard time like knowing exactly what that means. And I should
well, okay,
probably
so
lock in a little bit.
remember back in the day, Leagues 2. Bring your mind back. Close your
Yeah,
eyes for a second.
okay. I don't
Think about
think I
Leagues
did these
2.
two. Maybe I didn't do three.
You
I don't
definitely
think I
did. We
three.
did Leagues 2. No, nobody did 3. Well, a lot of people did 3. We'll talk about 3 in a second because I think it really relates to what we're talking about. Korend used to be the best support region. So
Mhm.
you would pick it first because it had like Zenites and it had all this other like jazz that was like really good for an account. Like it was a great region to put on top of your like raid region and other stuff like that.
Right.
Varlamore is just a better version of that of it. It's just one of those regions that like you just have access to so much crap in Varlamore. It's like
Yeah.
you could play a league that's just Varlamore. Like, and it would be. I mean, it might be by today's standards, like not enough. But like back in the day, if Varlamore got released and for the first league instead of Korend, like that would have been a banger league. Like that would have been
Yeah, no,
crazy. It would
I
have been
totally
so
agree. I
fun.
kind of want that, but yeah, I think by today's standards, it might be a little bit of a step back. It might be a
People would
little
finish
too.
it so fast. It would be finished so quick.
Yeah.
Remember back in like the Varlamore, back in Korend, like the XP rate didn't go higher than 5x. Like
Right.
the
Yeah.
XP
And
rate stayed at 5x.
I remember clearly because I got way too high and almost didn't finish my 200 mil fire making or whatever to get in Dragon
Yeah.
Cup.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like I remember like there was options like the last option was like reduce all your weapons by 1 tick or get double XP and everything. And it
Yeah.
was like crazy. Like there was no rules back then. Now there's kind of like a system that they abide by. And you mentioned Leagues 3, and I wanted to bring this up because a lot of people didn't like Leagues 3 because a lot of people said there was just like it was an endless grind. You had access to
Right.
the whole map and you could constantly switch out relics almost like a dead man mode. And I think that I think it's really important that you have permanent choices in a league. Like the way your build is, or like you're not the best ranger, but you're the best meleeer. Like I think these are really important choices for a league. And where Leagues 3 fell apart was where you could just be anything you wanted to be.
Yeah. It's
And it
funny that
made
I
it.
was just saying that was kind of what I wanted, but now that I'm thinking about it, that's why I didn't play that league because it was just too infinite. Like you need some more confines, I guess. You're right.
I think it's that like I've said this on so many podcasts. It's like the illusion of choice. It's like you want there to be a finish line to something, and it felt like in that league there was no finish line to anything. Like
Right.
it's nice to hit the finish line on relics. It's nice to hit the finish line on region unlocks. It's nice to hit those finish lines and then just let you grind your best in slot from those regions. That's like really unique because you don't I'm never wearing best like max prayer gear with a sun spear to get the most
Yeah.
damage
Yeah.
possible. Like that's never happening
And you have to
except
get
if you're in a
crafty. Like
league,
it keeps that element of like thinking outside the box and doing something different.
which is super fun. And I think it's why like a lot of people enjoy those like chunk accounts and stuff like that. It's like it's the same game with a completely different experience, a completely different set of rules that
Yeah.
only applies to the game.
You know what I
Oh,
will say for like good or for worse, like I mentioned like those confines and not wanting to like I feel like I have to make another account to experience a certain thing or whatever, but the things that I was like confined to that like were either really frustrating or really cool are the things that I remember. I have a terrible memory for this kind of stuff, like but I remember like, oh, I picked Kandarin, I want to say Kandarin, and went to Demonic Gorillas and
for Ballista?
yeah, for Ballista, and went like
Yeah.
7 times drive for Ballista, and it was like the thing that was going to make my account insane. And like, yeah, it sucked at the time, but like getting that Ballista drop finally and like doing all this crazy, like I started killing during work. I was like AFKing the lesser gorillas to like try to get the heavy frame, even though it was like crazy rare, and like just I don't know, persevering through that and then finally getting to use it. Like that's the thing I remember. And if there was an alternate path to like, if I could have been like, oh, I could just go to God Wars and go get an ACB instead, and it would be just as good. Like it wouldn't have been as memorable for me, I think so.
Right. I think the normal path through RuneScape is everyone who plays RuneScape like seriously like completely understands it. Like you can go do waterfall to this, to that, and you could bounce around like that. When those options are removed is when the game becomes really fun.
Yeah.
Like experiencing it new again. Like I just had an idea and I don't want to lose it.
Okay, go.
Okay. They said they were bringing echo bosses back. What if instead of echo bosses, Yama throws the dart at the dartboard and a region becomes demonic, and every boss in that region has a demon variant that you can do.
Okay.
And everyone has access to it. And it's like echo bosses, and they all drop like sick, weird items. That would be another cook that I could see them really cooking cool. Up.
That's
like,
a lot of work. Like
it's so much work
for one league to change every boss. And to change every boss in every region for like at a certain point, if you
could you imagine doing demonic Brutus though?
Double demonic like, Brutus,
double D Brutus.
Does double demonic cancel it out? So it's just normal Brutus.
Yeah, dude. 2 negatives equal positive.
Yeah. The hard mode version is just the 58 HP normal Brutus, and then the normal one is the demonic Brutus.
Yeah, we need to be able to fight demonic Brutus. Honestly, add more demonic Brutuses to the game.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Have you tried demonic Brutus, by the way?
I tried it once, and I will. They said it would be the hardest boss in the game. I don't think it's that difficult of a boss.
No, the consensus is it's a step below the Awakened and the Oathplate contracts.
It's definitely a step below, because the reason it's a step below is it's because the second phase of the boss isn't punishing enough. So the way it works is like he pops like 4 orbs over your head, and you need to pray correctly against those orbs while doing the walk. So in concept, that's like doing Awaken Leviathan, right? Like stepping and switching prayer in the same tick. Mm-hmm. It's like a very hard thing to do when you're doing any sort of content in the game. But the reality of it is that the max that those things can hit is like a 22.
Yeah.
So what you end up doing instead is like, okay, is there 2 red orbs, 2 yellow orbs, or 2 blue orbs? I pray that and do the steps, and I just tank 40 damage.
That's what I heard.
Because there's always going to be 2 of one of the orbs.
Tried it or even seen the fight yet, so I'm excited to do it eventually. But it's kind of, yeah, I guess I'll probably try it before I start doing all the Awakened and the Oathplate stuff. So it'll be a nice little step in between there.
I also wish that they put like instead of the slippers, I have a gripe with the slippers, and it's not like any like the demonic boss drops like different slippers that you get from him. I have a gripe with the slippers.
Okay.
I don't mind there being slippers like this in the game. I don't care. What I do care about is you can never use those slippers like when you're doing any sort of content. So like when you look at like something like Oathplate, when you look at something like Oathplate or Blood Torva, you get to see that person has it, and it's like really cool because you're like, oh shit, this guy's done like some like pretty omega content to get that. Well, I wish that the boss just gave you like a pet variant or something.
Yeah,
like
that's what I was thinking.
Gave you the red version of the cow boss or something like that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I think a lot of people have that thought. I think it must have been intentional, but I think even if they didn't put like some kind of cosmetic on like a prominent item like they do with other ones, like it would have been cool to have something that you could display. Yeah, you're never going to be wearing the demonic cow's feet. Yeah, and I think there was also a missed opportunity with the normal variants of the boots because they just made the holy moles. They could have made the holy cows.
Right, that's a massively missed opportunity. Yeah. The holy cows are a massive missed opportunity, and I think they know that because they've made jokes about it on their live streams about the holy cows.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. And dude, what's up with the holy moles? Honestly, the holy moles, bro, they just were like anyone who had mole slippers. Where these are shooting to the moon right now. Like that's just what they're like, dude, you're just making 17 bill off Mold Slippers. It reminds me of
how
when
much are they?
No. I'm saying like
If you had
when
a
they
stack of
that
them.
upped right. If you had a stack of them, because this was the Holy Molies was a Reddit idea for years. So I'm
Yeah.
sure there were some people just collecting Mold
Dude,
Slippers.
there's some weirdos that
And
probably had
right.
thousands of them.
And I know King Condor, he's a content creator, but people listening probably know who he is. He was collecting like an obscene amount of Mold Slippers.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just like one of those things where it's like, we're just gonna put this in the game and just like these prices are gonna go through the fucking roof because we're like, this is a cool idea. It reminds me of back in the day when if you remember when they changed climbing boots.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
And they went from like 80 GP to 63K.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Overnight. So all these purists who had thousands of climbing boots in their bank just made like 20 bill in one overnight. It was like crazy.
This was in RuneScape too, like way back in the day. I remember seeing a screenshot of some guy that was like overnight the richest player in the game. He had like tens of thousands of climbing boots or hundreds of thousands. It was crazy. I had one time where I did really well with something like that when they changed the Zulrah teleports. You used to get like 10. You got so many of them. And I had grinded a ton of Zulrah back in the day and just had like stacks of a few thousand. And then they switched those teleports in overnight, or I'd like come back to the game or something and had like a couple 100 mil worth of Zulrah teleports, and I felt like the king. But yeah, we should maybe take a little peruse through Reddit later and see if there's any good ideas that stand out.
Dude, honestly, dude, they're gonna take them. Dude, I recently had one of those moments.
Oh yeah.
With listen to me, everybody who's listening and wants to make some money.
Here comes the market manip.
Yep, here comes the market manipulation. Menophyte remedies are going to the moon.
This is not financial advice. Dalton has a couple bill worth of Menophyte remedies.
I do. I will, to state this clearly and outwardly, I do have 750,000 Menophyte remedies on my main account.
Yeah, I sold some of mine off.
They recently went up to 5K a piece for some reason, and I bought them all for 1650 a piece, and I sold 250K of them.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this. The reason they were put in the game in the first place is because when they wanted to make overloads, they were going to be part of the overload combination. They stated that very clearly when TOA came out. I remember it. Those things, even when they mention overloads, Menophyte remedies are going to go to the moon. Yeah. That is my Dogecoin. That is my GameStop. Diamond hands.
Cryptocurrency.
We are holding. It's my RuneScape crypto. I have more value on my main in Menophyte remedies than I have in anything else on the account.
Yeah, I gotta say, you convinced me. I bought a couple 100K of them, and I did sell when they hit 5K. I sold like half of mine off, but I did rebuy when they went back to like 2.3K or 2.4K. So
that's right.
I'm holding strong too. My bark investment came up big recently as well. Bark went up for some reason, spiked to 500 each, and I bought them at like 30 each way back in the day. I have so many of them, and that investment was finally came to fruition. So I'm using my degree in economics very well.
We went to school for this. Yeah. Let RuneScape market predict the real. If I could only do this in the actual stock market.
I know. I do feel like I am like I have this degree sitting on the wall, and I do feel like every time I make a terrible investment, I'm like a little bit ashamed about it. But yeah, when I make a good one, I feel pretty good, pretty validated.
Yeah, seriously. But let's go back to leagues really quick. Let's go back to leagues.
Yeah, this is ADHD podcast.
This is what they're here for. This is the best. But leagues 6.
Mm-hmm,
April 15th. Do you think so they did say also that there was going to be a more in-depth combat masteries. So I don't think it's going to be just ranged, mage, or melee anymore. I think that they might literally slam out like you're good with darts weapons, you're good with bows, you're good with ballista. Yeah, I think they might slam that. You're good with maces. You're good with lances.
That. It's like the WoW combat trees where like it's not just you're not just like the best at this. You have to kind of pick and choose things within within that. So I'm thinking like obviously there's a lot of ways to go with melee, a lot of ways to go with range, I think. What about
Elemental.
magic? Yeah, elemental. So do you think elemental would be its own branch or different elements within elemental?
I think call me crazy. I think you might be able to choose like, let's say there's a pathways, right? You could pick like mage, range, or melee to start,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is my ideal world, right? You pick range, mage, or melee to start, and then you could either pick like powered stabs or spell books, like in general. And then
Okay.
they tie an ancient spell to a thing, and they like, so like when I say that, like fire's blood, ice is water, like they tie those together so that like it
Oh
doesn't like
yeah,
totally
okay.
screw you off. Like you could use any spell book is more powerful when you choose this path, and then when you get to the end, you get to choose a totally different style if you want. Like you get to choose a like completely different style. So like you can no longer choose mage. Your mage option is locked. But
Oh.
now you can delve into the melee tree and be specific in a certain melee weapon, and then you could delve into like the range tree after that and be tied to a specific type of range weapon, and then you could have this like crazy build where like you have these three styles, but like you're using weird weapons with all three of those styles, and it'd be like insanely cool,
Yeah,
actually, in
that
my
would be
opinion.
cool. I was thinking more in terms of like you would still pick a style like mage range melee, but you would like yeah, it would make sense to like really spec out in like let's say ballistas and then you finish that tree and then you start like filling in like darts and crossbows and things like that. But yeah, I think it would be cooler to specialize in that style and then start like the melee tree and start doing stuff in there.
Yeah, I
Cuz
do think one of the
yeah.
biggest pitfalls of leagues. Sorry, I'll let you
No,
finish
no,
up
that's
this.
all. That
One
was
of
really
the
all.
one of the biggest pitfalls of leagues, in my opinion, is that it is odd that like the only style that you use is the one that you choose. So like last league was more abundantly clear than any other league, where it's just like if you picked range 6 and you had a twisted bow, everything was dying to the twisted bow.
Right.
Like nothing was surviving
Range
that.
is broken
The
every time in every leagues. It's always range, and I don't want to have
Yeah,
to be.
I know.
I don't want to have
I'm
to
a
pick
range
range.
picker. I think I might make a rule for myself this league. If it's the same cut and dry, then I'm not choosing range. I might try magic this time again.
It's always a headache because like you have to. It's always like the charges and the runes and everything. But like I'm sure they always have something that cuts down on that anyway. And
Yeah.
so, but it still feels like oh I have
Well,
to go gather something to do this.
right. What I was saying is just that the pitfalls can be totally mitigated by like, oh, maybe I do have Tab unlocked, and like, okay, maybe I do have range, a really good like range build, but like my melee build's what I have to use in Tab. Like and that way you have to actually grind for three styles. Like I
Yeah,
think that like they could really expand leagues to like let it actually last 2 months.
yeah, I
Because
think so
really, after
too.
like 3 weeks to a month, you're kind of like chilling. You're like just doing tasks. But they could make it so that's like, or they could make you be able to like fully prestige. Like they could do stuff like
Yeah,
that
we
where it's
talked
like
about that in our podcast with Double Shine, the prestige system. I think that does sound cool to me too.
yeah, like could you imagine just like full prestiging, like and being able to do your thing? It'd be very cool, man. Being able to choose and not even like having to, like you said before, one of the biggest things like you feel like you have to make another account to choose these things. What if you got to prestige like and it was like really late? It was like it doesn't even have to be this late, but I'm just using it as like an exaggerated effect. What if you got to like all the way to dragon trophy? And it's like, okay, now that you've secured like the dragon trophy, we're going to let you like start from the beginning again, and you can't do any of the tasks you already unlocked, and but we're going to let you unlock like three new regions, and
Yeah,
you get points that way, and like and eventually you unlock the whole map. Like it'd be very cool. They
I
could
like
do
that
stuff like
idea. I
that.
feel like I mean, I know they're not money grabbers at all, but I feel like they maybe would be like, oh, let's just take the money from the people who make a second account if that's what they want to do.
Yeah, I know what you
I
mean.
mean, like
I
from a
think you're
business
right.
standpoint, it would be dumb to do the prestige thing. There would have to be some merit to the prestige thing, like you keep some power, or you know what I mean, like
Right? Yeah, I wouldn't want to lose my power to prestige,
Yeah. I don't know.
but I would want to be able. I think it's just cool. I mean, I really think they might. I think Yama throwing the dart is a bigger hint than people are talking about, and I
But
could
it
be
could be a hint
crazy.
in so many directions, right? Like,
I know, I know. It could just be like fluff, like for the video, like Yama's just a badass throwing a dart at the board and corrupting something. But like it harkens back in my head immediately to all those movies you see, or the people on like TikTok or Instagram where they're just like throwing a dart at a board and like this is where I go, and then you see their like trip through like Bali or something, right? That's what I like imagine, like when it comes to this, like, okay, well, we're gonna see my trip through Misthalin now. The first week Misthalin is unlocked, it's on fire, there's bosses everywhere. It's and then next week it's Kandarin, everyone has Kandarin, people don't have Misthalin anymore. It's just, it could be one of those things that really draw me in, I feel like.
yeah. I'm gonna say something and it's gonna sound really mean. I'm not super sure you know what harkens means.
What's harkens mean?
I think it just means like hark, like to listen.
I've heard harkens back
I
to
feel like there's a saying that's not quite that, but it's close. And I've thought
okay.
about this a couple times.
Okay, well,
I'm
one
sorry.
second, 1 second.
The harken, I think, is to listen, like listen to something. Harken.
Huh. Funnily enough, I'm
now I'm
looking right
questioning
now,
myself,
and
too.
it means to listen.
Harken, wait, but I know the harken back. Sorry,
I've heard that saying before. Maybe I'm an idiot.
yeah, no,
I
that's
did.
a thing to recall or remember.
It is, right? Harkens back. I'm not
Yeah.
crazy, right?
No,
The
you're
other
right.
day
Now
I
feel
said
like an
something.
ass.
No, you're good. You're good. The other day I said something, and I said, bite the dog that bit you. And Cassie just started losing it. My wife started losing it because it was not the right saying. And she was like, you're such an idiot. What are you talking about? Bite the dog
I
that
swear
bit
you
you.
said that to me too recently.
Dude, probably. It was in reference to you know when you're like hungover and you like drink a beer and like
Oh, the hair of the
goes
dog.
away?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, bite the dog that bit you.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
I like it more than hair of the dog.
Yeah,
Dude.
it
Bite
makes
the dog
more
that bit
sense
you.
than hair of the dog.
Thank
Hair of
you.
the dog, what does that mean? Bite the dog that bit you. Like you
Bit you. It
I'm
makes
with you,
sense.
dude. I'm with you.
It makes sense. It's like, oh yeah, I got drunk last night. Time to fucking send
start
it
saying
again.
it. I'm gonna start saying it.
You know, I always have been a visionary of sorts.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, leagues. Anything else we want to add to this leagues discussion? I feel like there's more. What do you? So what I said, what I'm hoping the packs are like. I really think it would be cool to be getting like tasks from him, like or like to even just like, oh, you know what? Here's what I'm thinking. Okay, hear me out. You know
I'm ready
how
to hear you out.
in the Chasm of Fire, you go to Yama and he lets you do these. You talk to him and then you see the symbols over the demons' heads and you have to kill them with a certain style.
Mm-hmm.
What if the packs are like, he tells you, go kill this, but do it this way. So that's the thing that's telling you, oh, I have to use this certain style or do this certain thing or do content this certain way. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can go to top, but you have to do it with melee, and you're unlocking this talent tree to try to fit what you're doing with the packs at that time too. So maybe the packs are like him telling you to do something a certain way.
Yeah, I mean, I think the demonic pacts could literally be anything. I mean, it's just like it's such an open-ended thing, but
yeah.
I do think that you're right where it could be along the lines of like you need to do something a certain way or you need to complete a certain task, and you know tasks are obviously tied to leagues, but I keep listen, I listen to when I'm at work faux streams at the perfect time for me to just like listen to him in the background, and he's seen more of the leagues from when they visited Jagex than we have, than anyone else knows. He's under NDA and he still says I can't say, but what he did say that's like a really big clue is the thing I'm most excited for about leagues has not been talked about yet.
Really?
So there's something that's really inventive. He said he was going to need a month to theorycraft, like on stream, about the thing that he was talking about. So when I think about that, it has to be something to be able to have to theorycraft for that long, unless he's just straight baiting, which I don't think he is. He's not really that kind of, I mean, sort of that kind of guy, but not really. But when I think about something that's like that grandiose, it has to be something that's like completely game changing that we've never even experienced in old school before. Like, who even knows, dude? I think I heard Double talking about this on one of his streams the other day. Who even knows who like they defined the lines of the regions. They could just like change the region in lines if they want. Who even knows what
true.
region is what? They can combine regions. Like they can combine like Kandarin's not strong enough. Okay, now Taranwin and Kandarin are the same region. Now
Kandarin
these regions are the same.
So I get Asgarnia, Kandarin, and Mistlin mixed up.
Okay.
Asgarnia is like Falador.
Guardians, Falador, Pest Control, God Wars Dungeon.
Kandarin's like Arjun, right?
Kandarin's like art. The problem with Kandarin is that there's not enough bosses in it, and Zenites don't matter really anymore.
Right. Yeah.
That's the issue with it.
Just like I can't kill another demonic gorilla in any of these modes. Oh my god.
Kandarin, Taranwin, combine them. Like Fremennik, Asgarnia, just combine. Like you can combine these regions, and like it would make them regions where you really start to think like, oh wait a minute, I'm getting a lot from this region because. Let me tell you something. I'm looking at it on my map right now. Varlamore has so much shit.
Yeah, for real.
Korend has so much shit. To be able to compete with these regions, you need to have a lot of stuff in the region.
Yeah, it's like, super hard to keep it equitable. I think they try to do it with like the special echo drop, you know what I mean? But
right, yeah, like dude, Fremennik was so OP. Fremennik was so OP because of the
I never take it.
The necklace. Dude, the necklace and ring from that place was so busted. It was crazy.
What did I pick over that? There's something that I
Taranwin.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you didn't do any gauntlet, did you?
No, well, the melee route was
right. That's right.
Was the Taranwin, and then I chose whatchamacallit. My choices, I think, were Varlamore.
I took Varlamore.
If Varlamore was I mean, I will never, dude. If Varlamore exists in this game, I'm choosing it in leagues. Like there's not a better region to start. Like, you could argue Korend probably is like a good region too for a starter region, but Varlamore's so insane. I chose
Desert, I think so. We could throw it together.
No. That was leagues 4.
I thought we picked it for this one as well. No.
We chose Tob, which was. Great choice. Top's a great raid, especially in leagues. You just blast in like 9 minutes.
Super.
We chose Varlamore, and you chose Taranwin. And why am I blanking on the other thing that I chose?
I think you ended up doing the monkeys at the last second.
The monkeys?
Yeah, demonic gorillas.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Fremennik.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I was just talking about.
Yeah, we were just talking about. I thought.
Dude, how did I blank out on that?
I don't know.
But Fremennik was really cool because the DKs were a really fun boss fight. I don't know. I think it would also be cool if they start like it's pretty much confirmed that Varlamore is going to be the region that we start in. I think it'd be cool to have a raid region to start in. Like if we started in Korend, I feel like that would be nice too because it would give everyone a raid to do baseline together.
Right.
And that way Chambers you don't feel
has
tied.
A lot of weird I guess they've kind of nerfed a few things, but it has a lot of weird good early training methods and access to weird things early on, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and weird things are really fun in leagues. Like, dude, I remember opening the chests underneath the crypts where you get a dragon warhammer.
Yeah.
Like during the first league, because I was like, this is just the best thieving experience you can get.
Yeah, and get Xerx's fabric.
Besides the other stuff. Yeah, that was really cool, man. Or even something as dumb as not dumb, but something as niche as you're picking God Wars for a ZCB, so you can use the ZCB spec. That stuff's really cool in my opinion.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh, didn't you pick God Wars last league and I didn't have
No,
God
I
Wars?
didn't. I swear.
Oh, you were flip-flopping and then last minute you chose something.
Right.
Yeah.
I was thinking about God Wars because I wanted a ZCB, but then I'm notorious for I never ever choose the special attack relic regardless of how strong it is because I really hate just spamming the special attack bar.
Yeah, and being beholden
I'd rather just
to
sit there
having to spam the special attack bar. Yeah.
Right. I'd rather just hit with a T-bow hard as hell
right.
or hit with a shadow super hard. Let me ask you a question. We're starting in Varlamore.
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel if Jagex gave players an option after Tutorial Island to just start in Varlamore instead of Lumbridge.
Instead of like in the main game?
Like in the main game, I know this sounds crazy because Lumbridge is so iconic, right? I
Yeah.
feel like Varlamore is the perfect starting region.
I do
Like it was
too.
made for that.
And
Like
it,
imagine being
yeah.
a new player, never played RuneScape before. Like and you're like dropped into Varlamore, it makes so much more sense than being dropped into. And I know Lumbridge is iconic, but
Right. I
I'm
feel
just
like
like thinking
a
about
lot of
it.
the activities and content are more like low to mid level activities though. So like no, that's not true. That's not true.
There's
Yeah,
just
I don't know.
everything
You might be
here.
right.
There's just everything here.
But the thing is, I don't know if you could appreciate this like different RuneScape culture that they've made, like this whole like the Civitella Fortis with like the Roman thing and then the jungle and all that. I don't know if you could appreciate all of that unless you had this like vanilla starting area too. That
Dude,
makes any
I just
sense.
I just think about being like a completely new player. Oh yeah, cool. They give you the option like you could start in the original location or you could start in Varlamore, and then you're like, oh, let me start in this like new location, Varlamore, and then it's like you walk into the Coliseum, like
Yeah.
level like 35 with like a myth sim or something. You just walk in there and you're just like getting slammed. You're like, what am I up against? Or you go to
Yeah.
Moons and you're like, what am I up against?
Huh. That's
But
like
I'm looking
in
at
WoW when you'd wander into like a
right.
area that's like way above your level just back in the day when you didn't really know what was going on.
Dude, when I was playing hardcore WoW and I didn't really understand the areas, and I walked into a area and I just saw a skull, and it's like the
Oh,
panic that set over
yeah.
me. It was like, oh my god, if I die right now, I'll be one shot by this guy. There's nothing I could do. But I'm looking at Varlamore right now, and some like key things that probably are undersold is like Alderan, right? This place is going to be really nice. There's a lot of cool mining spots over here that like people probably don't think about when it comes to this. The early hunter guild is here, and if they make it so that, which I'm assuming they would, you can only get hunter contracts in your areas, would be a really cool like way to go about it.
Yeah.
Tons of fishing locations. There is the stonemason is here. There
Some
is
obscure trees. I know I was doing a couple
yeah,
of rounds in Deadman mode collecting my crops,
that's
cashing in on my
right.
cash
That's right.
cows.
That's right. Everyone's gonna be doing colossal worm agility.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I almost do wish like we could just have
wait,
another
fletching
like
minigame?
totally
Sorry, fletching
contained.
minigame?
No, no, go ahead.
No, you finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, I
Oh,
almost wish we could
offhand
have another.
Custodia. Sorry, go ahead.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Um
Go
I almost wish
ahead.
we could. Okay, you're not gonna do it again.
I'm not gonna do it again.
I almost wish we could have another like fully contained leagues like we did with uh, Goran, just with Varlamore. Like I feel like it. If there's any region that they could do it with, it's that one, and it would be cool to just like learn every little in and out of that area and like engage with it like we did as kids with like the whole map of RuneScape because it was a lot smaller.
They could combine Varlamore and Korend, and they
Yeah,
could make that happen.
I think so too. I think they could even do it just in Parlamore, honestly. Like they'd have to maybe add some like, some leagues exclusive things to it, but like
Like every
yeah,
boss
there's
would
just
need an
so much
Echo
going on
version.
there.
Every boss would need an Echo version, and then the reason I say add Korendon is because the way I picture it is like you go to chambers like as your end game, and you click on the raid, and it lets you choose which raid you want to enter, and you just enter any of the 3 raids
Yeah, that's what I'm
from
saying. Like they'd have
chambers.
to add some kind of like some
Yeah,
stuff to it, but it does feel like if there was ever an area to do that again, it would be that one. And I kind of liked the truncated thing where you didn't
me
have the
too.
whole map. But again, like you said, by today's standards, I don't think they could. I think people would be yeah, complain and be unhappy about it.
Well, I do also think just like with the modern like back, I know it wasn't that long ago when Leagues One came out, but back when it did come out, people weren't that good at the game yet.
Yeah, I mean, it was
And
dude, it was like 6, 7 years ago, probably now.
yeah,
It was a
I
while.
mean, I remember playing the first leagues and just being like, why am I doing Wintertide on this thing? Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I did
And
have a
then
couple of those moments.
slowly but surely getting addicted to it.
Yeah.
just like totally taking it over.
And you know what? I think that they should do this time around is like really monitor Reddit and really monitor Twitter and all these like social medias, and anyone they find that is like complaining about anything at all, walker. They're a walker. Instantly.
Right.
It's not a choice this time. There's not walkers by choice. It's just people that complain. They're going to be walkers for this league. And it would be so funny to see them just walking behind everyone, doing things a lot slower. I know it's not realistic, but I think that would be great.
Dude, you just reminded me of like the choice to end all choices of just like you had to choose between saving ammunition and runes or never walking again in the first league. And you got labeled so fast a walker. Like it was
true.
like
it wasn't so fast. It was like by the end of the first day, people realized how bad it was.
OP it was? Yeah.
But that was enough time for people to have the walkers to have invested enough time into their account where like they had to make that choice like, oh, do I just restart on a different account? Or do I
literally what it was.
It was just enough time to where like you saw walkers for the rest of that league. So there was like there was a time investment before people were like, hey, that was the dumbest shit you could have possibly done.
Yeah,
so, it was
that was
like
awful. Like what a dumbass this guy is.
Oh, man,
look at this idiot. But like, dude, that's like they've had those in every league though. Like people who chose like Eternal Jeweler in the second league over last recall, or like people who
it's not as severe
didn't choose Banker's Briefcase. Like that was severe. Or not Banker's Briefcase. I'm sorry, the Clue Compass.
Yeah,
you didn't choose Clue Compass. It was like so severe. Like what are you doing? Who are those people who didn't choose?
Yeah, do you think there will be any of those this league?
I think that Jagex secretly adds one into every league. Like one choice that's so blatantly obvious that like
they do it too because they publish the numbers too for like how many people chose what.
Yeah. Like, dude, like I remember, dude, I kind of got flamed last league for my choice of Total Recall over Banker's Note. And I will, until the day I die, until the day I'm in the soil, I will 100% say that Banker's Note is so unnecessary.
Every leagues, we both do the same thing. We don't choose it because you never need it. I never felt like a time where I was like, oh, I wish I had that.
There is one time I felt like it. Rune crafting. That's it though. Just not even skilling, just rune crafting. Like I feel like, oh yeah, I wish I had this for rune crafting. But like, dude, if you've Total Recall, you hit the bank really quick, you Total Recall back. Who cares?
Yeah, I swear you save more time with Total Recall than Banker's Note.
It made so many bosses. Dude, Slayer, all the bosses, you just got to just teleport back to your spot with like max stats, full prayer, full spec. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I'm with you. I never let's put it this way, in a PVM scenario, I'm never like, oh, I wish I had that for supplies. Never.
Dude, people in one of the Discords I'm in argued against me about Banker's Note versus. They were like, dude, but what if I have to do Nex? Or what if I have to do? Dude, you're in leagues. You're gonna be able to solo Nex with your brain off.
Yeah,
like it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay.
If you can't do it with what you have, then you're having extra supplies that's not your biggest issue.
Oh, I can go into Inferno with a full inventory of Karambwa or a full stack. Who cares?
You're not gonna need
What are you talking about? You're healing like a crazy amount. You're blasting everything to the moon. Nothing's doing damage to you.
Prayer's going up for some reason. Health is going up for some reason.
Everything is going up.
Taking mistakes on the chin. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're gonna get flamed for our choice of. Just so everyone's aware too, I chose Fire Sale over Banker's Note in the league before that, so I'm not afraid of a little bit of flame from.
It can't be as bad as Walkers. It will never be that bad.
Walkers is the worst thing. It's so bad that they just baseline added it to every league. Yeah. Like they're just like even dead man mode.
The one I remember was people who chose Fairy's Flight in the last one, and they published the data, and it was like 1% of players, and then you'd still see those people running around with the mushroom like deep into leagues. It was so funny.
Yeah, like Clue Compass. It was like the funniest thing was Banker's Briefcase too. It was like you can teleport to any bank. It's like, why do you need to teleport to any bank?
Yeah, and
Like
that
there's
was
no
included
reason.
in like something. I don't know. Yeah, it was
It
included.
was in the
something.
compass. You could just teleport to Shiloh because there's a step there.
Right. Yeah,
It was like, what are we doing here?
That's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, yeah, I think
that's pretty
that's
good.
a lot of our predictions and ideas for this league. I don't know if that enlightened anyone or if we actually had any unique ideas, but we would love to hear all of your ideas in the comments. If you have something that you're like, this is what it's going to be and this is a great idea, we'd love to hear some theories.
Yeah, and also like as leagues gets closer and as we get more and more announcements, obviously we're gonna keep speculating on this stuff. Like we love this league speculation. We maybe even try to get like Double Shine on again.
Yeah,
Maybe
I was gonna
like
say, I'd
some
love to
other
have him back
people.
on.
Like yeah, just
His
to like
brain.
talk about like when leagues is actually like and we know everything.
Yeah.
Like what we can make like tier lists and stuff of what their best relics are. It'll be so cool.
Right. Yeah. I like hearing him speculate with no information, and I like hearing him talk about
Speculate with all of
plans
it.
with all of the information. So yeah, it'd be cool to have him back on.
All right.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. We would really, really appreciate it. And we will see you guys next week with another episode.
Peace out, boys.
Later.